thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, an in-depth look at the economy and the number one industry that continues to drive it. Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper joins me this evening. Also tonight, if you've been hoping for cultural exchange and experience in Italy, say this summer, you're in luck. The Italian Honorary Council, the Italian Bahamas Association, has a program for two lucky Bahamians. We'll tell you more about that. And then later, a seminar for women who are seeking more information about menopause or perimenopause. The ladies are here this evening to tell you just how you can link up. It's all straight ahead this evening. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Well, he's the man at the head of one of the industries that serves as the bread and butter of the Bahamian economy, and it has for decades. That industry remains the driving force of the economy today. But it's looking a little differently in that it's opening up to have Bahamians become key players in it. Additionally, aviation is the key component that makes connectivity possible for tourism nationwide. Well, tonight we have a candid look at the state of tourism and all the important impact where it matters in the economy and that airport renaissance that's expanding the tourism industry across the Bahamas. Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper joins me this evening. It's good to have you here, Deputy Prime Minister Cooper. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines.
Thank you. Pleasure's mine.
Good to have you here. And I think this may be your first time, so let's just jump right in. A whole lot to get to, right? Deputy Prime Minister, how would you assess the present state of tourism right now in the Bahamas?
Well, tourism continues to be the engine that's driving the economy. I've been calling it the rising tide because when tourism is doing well, the economy is doing well. And you would have heard the Prime Minister talk about the increasing revenue numbers, talk about low unemployment. He is talking a lot about the growth of the economy as Minister of Finance. And I want to tell you that the economy really is bolstered and driven by the work that we're doing in the tourism industry. Last year, we had a record-setting year in terms of arrivals for the third consecutive year, and we're off to a roaring start for 2026. I'm excited about what's happening in the tourism industry. Beyond the numbers, people are really becoming more engaged. There are a lot more opportunities that people are seizing in the tourism business. That excites me.
That sounds good because you have been sort of pounding this message, ownership. When you say ownership, how does that look for you? Because I think last year we recorded 12 million visitors. The opposition has been the largest critic because they say, I hear you with your 12 million. That sounds good and everything to say. But the thing about it is Bahamians are not feeling the impact financially of that 12 million or ownership.
Well, let me tell you that in a democracy, it's important to have an informed opposition. Therefore, I've invited them to come to the Ministry of Tourism for a technical briefing. I've made this open invitation for 3 years. They've not shown up yet. I'm still hopeful. We have time. They can still come in and get the facts. They can understand the great work that we are doing in tourism to really drive the tourism product, the strategies we're putting in place. We have a great team all around the world pushing every day. Deploying new strategies, looking at new niches, and really carrying the flag for the islands of the Bahamas. And I always hate when someone from the opposition seek to denigrate the great work that we are in fact doing. Yes, 12.5 million real visitors coming to the Bahamas. Our stopovers were slightly behind prior year. And we know that stopover visitors spend more than cruise visitors, but make no mistake about it, we are increasing the overall impact from our cruise visitors. This year, we're already up 22% over last year. And when we talk about these numbers, we're talking about real people employed, school fees, payrolls, mortgage payments, car notes, children going to college. We're talking about straw vendors and taxi drivers and restaurant owners all making money, improving their quality of life. And if we misunderstand the impact of tourism, we only need to go back to the days of COVID that I hope we never ever go back to, when there were no tourists. The economy had pretty much stopped, and it impacts everything that we're doing as an economy. So as the driving industry for the overall economy, it's undeniable the impact that tourism is having, and anyone who do not recognize that is not speaking with their eyes open.
So I know that you have a program, and I just spoke to it with a relative just earlier this week, about increasing the room rates, particularly on family islands. That's a part of this ownership that you obviously are forecasting.
Well, we launched the Home Sweet Home program through the Tourism Development Corporation because I've maintained that we cannot exponentially increase stopovers unless we increase room capacity. The easiest way to do that is through short-term vacation rentals. And this is why we have offered grants up to $10,000, or we've had partnerships with the Bahamas Development Bank where persons can get the grant and go on to the Bahamas Development Bank and get additional funding. By increasing the number of rooms available, we can get more airlift. By getting more airlift, we get more stopovers, we get more heads in bed, we get more people buying our services, our experiences, exploring this small communities like Pompey Bay or Rollville in the Exumas, and really getting the impact and the spending of tourists out in the communities. And that's really the objective of ownership of the tourism industry. Small mom and pop shops making money, people making money, creating wealth through their Airbnbs or the short-term vacation rental, as the case might be. And our job really is to help to position Bahamians, creating more tours, creating more experiences, creating more small business opportunities, handmade, unique products and services for our guests. And I'm calling for more and more Bahamians to get involved. One of our biggest challenges is that we're only getting half of our guests off the cruise ships. And their major complaint is not enough to do.
It's nothing to do.
So Ministry of Tourism will get the guests here. We will bring the numbers, but the Bahamian people must do more in helping us to create product to ensure that they are compelled to get off, create more tours, whether church tours or graveyard tours or new beach experiences or boating opportunities or flying across the other family islands, whatever the experience is. Once we get the guests here, it's important that we build the brand and experience in the product. And that's why we've been working so hard to revitalize Bay Street as well. We're making small gains there. And the more we do on Bay Street, the more compelling it will be for people to get off. We started with the pop-ups like Bites on Bay. We've been doing those every month. It's a cultural, immersive experience.
Oh, really?
People
so how's that being received?
It's going extremely well. It's like a mini version of Gumbay, where people can come, they get a bit of Junkanoo, experience our food, our art, our culture in one place. It's truly an exciting opportunity. But whilst we revamp the hardscapes, if you will, we knock down the old buildings, we're hoping to build new ones. We're hoping to get more nightclubs, more lounges, more rake and scrape experiences. Downtown, we believe that this is the approach. We're going to be consistent at it. It's a work in progress. We've made some significant strides, and we continue on that path.
With places and destinations like Jamaica, like Dominican Republic too, vying for that tourism experience and to attract tourists, what is the Bahamas doing to, yes, they love our sun, and sea, but again, they could kind of sort of find that anywhere. How else are we staying competitive?
We have a great brand, and we don't necessarily compete on price the way the DR might do, but we are consistently investing in our product. And this is why it's a great match that I'm responsible for, not just for tourism and aviation, but also investments. We have $15 billion of investments in the pipeline, which means that we are refreshing our product every day. We have big brands coming to the Bahamas, another Rosewood, small resorts as well. We have Bagari coming and Montage in Abaco. A lot of small resorts all across these islands, like Curly's Beach Resort in Cat Island and the Peace and Plenty in Exuma, doing major renovations and revamps. We are ensuring that we consistently stay on top of our game. Make no mistake about it though. The beaches are second to none in the islands of the Bahamas. We like to talk about our sun, sand, and sea, and when you only need to travel down to the Exumas, and you will truly understand that what we have cannot be found anywhere else in the world. But we're not resting on sun, sand, and sea. We're going beyond the beach. We're creating more immersive experiences for culture and heritage. We've relaunched religious tourism. We're doing a lot in sustainability. We are advancing the fly fishing industry, catch and release, game fishing, catch and release. We're big fans of...
So all these niche markets
absolutely,
and niche experiences.
We're working on all of them, and this is why we've been so successful with our numbers.
Yes. Now let's look and shift gears because he has a heavy load. It's tourism, it's aviation, it's investments, and I want to look at aviation because that's what's going to help sort of the other islands have their share and their niche areas become known to the discerning traveler. Let's talk about air connectivity. I know just about roughly 2 weeks ago you were in Mayaguana for something that was absolutely historic, I think since independence or maybe before independence, a brand new airport. Let's talk about this, the Davis Cooper administration's sort of what you brand as your renaissance for airports nationwide.
This is the most aggressive infrastructural airport program in the history of the independent Bahamas. We set out to revitalize 14 airports. At the moment, we have work going on at the moment on more than 14 airports. We have 2 beautiful airport terminals coming out of the ground and opening soon in Cat Island. One in Arthurstown and one in New Bight. We are seeing the coming out of the ground in Exuma and Bimini. We completed Great Harbor Key and Ragged Island. And of course, a beautiful airport terminal, as you mentioned, in Mayaguana. Much needed. This is essential for connectivity. It's essential for the way of life of the people of these small islands. We committed to ensuring that we provide the same level of services to the islands as Nassau, Grand Bahama. And therefore, this is more than just infrastructure, it's dignity. It speaks to the quality of life and improvement in that quality that we're making for Bahamians across the islands. More than just airports, though, we're ensuring that they have airlift. And we have therefore started a non-stop service to Ragged Island. And we've started a non-stop service going into Rum Key and also in Farmers Key. I'm most proud of those.
From the capital
from Nassau to these small islands.
I was about to ask
where Bahamians live. They can now share in the tourist dollar that we're bringing into the country.
What difference does that even make? I mean, you mentioned these far-flung. We think of far-flung always as the southern islands, and yes, they are. But oftentimes overlooked are Ragged Island and those areas just that you mentioned a moment ago. What difference is that already making for the residents of those very small islands?
If you're from Ragged Island, you typically would travel to Nassau, either on a charter, which may cost you $3,000 or $4,000, or the mailboat, which may take you 3 or 4 days to get to Nassau in the Bahamas, because they stop sometimes in other islands. The reality is that mailboat may go every 10 to 12 days. So if you come on the mailboat, you're returning on the mailboat, you must have at least a week and a half available to you to make that trip. So just from a basic quality of life. And then you come to New Providence for services. But importantly, people go to these communities, whether it's for fly fishing or commercial fishing or just to see relatives and friends. It puts money into these communities. So we have launched 45 new flights coming from Canada a week. 45 a week from Canada to New Providence. All of those persons coming to Nassau Paradise Island shouldn't stay here. We should ensure that they have an opportunity to visit the other 15 destinations, and this is why we've put Rumkey and Ragged Island on the map. I'm most proud of what we've been able to do for those small communities.
It's good to hear that. Oftentimes they are overlooked.
Yep.
You don't even remember, kindly forgive me, this host. But sometimes you forget they kind of, and you figure they're just getting by how they're getting by, not realizing that there was not some consistent airlift happening there. And so that is good to hear. I want to look at about investments and ensuring that even there and that the investments are measured and are suited to the various family islands and how the makeup of those islands are. But let's just talk about investments and ensuring that while that's happening, and you want to attract them because you are also Minister of the Investments as well. And so while that's happening, that they happen in a way that respects the various islands and their makeup and are inclusive of Bahamian ownership and empowerment.
Let me give you a great example. We're building a port in Maguana, ideally suited for Maguana, not so much suited for Exuma, because we don't particularly want to attract cruise passengers to Exuma. Each island has its own identity, its charm and spirit, and we hope to be able to keep it that way. When we look at what we are doing in Grand Bahama, for example, this will be perhaps the biggest cruise hub for the Bahamas in coming years. I expect by 2027, 2028, we may be having 5 million passengers arriving in Grand Bahama Island as a result of the new investments coming on stream. You have Celebration Key, then you have a Freeport Harbor project by MSC, then you have a few beach experiences by large cruise lines. And then, of course, we are promoting heavily small boutique resorts in many of the small islands of the Bahamas. Our product is varied. Everyone coming to our islands don't want to stay at Atlantis or Bahama, no matter how nice they are, and the casinos and the nightlife, etc. So we have attracted over the last 3.5 years, $15 billion of new investments, in addition to the investments in infrastructure that we are seeing. This is a huge deal. This is transformative for New Providence. We have significant investment coming on stream, mainly in tourism, but across these islands. In Grand Bahama, we're looking at investments in the industrial sector, in technology, in agribusiness, and commercial fishing. And we are hoping that we get more and more Bahamians more involved and more engaged. The Maguana project, for example, the large cruise port that will likely create a logistics hub in the south, similar to what we have in Grand Bahama, has a large Bahamian participation, Bahamian component. This is the next level of development for our young country. We've gained political independence. We have implemented a lot of social programs. We're doing well in that realm. And I think the chapter of now is that we must promote more economic independence. And this is something you will see more and more of in our blueprint for progress that we're going to roll out in the coming weeks. And we're going to speak to what we believe the future of our country should look like. We want Bahamians staying at home. We want to tackle what we've been calling brain drain. We want people, young people, to understand that they can build and grow and prosper in the islands of the Bahamas, that this is their home, and we need them, all of them, to be here as much as possible to continue to help to build our country that we have been exceedingly proud of.
Right, and so it seems as though that you will really try, and when I say you, your team, this administration, were you to be successful at the polls shortly, that you are aiming to ensure that the rest of the Bahamas is properly zoned and that development is specific and targeted for the island in which it's aimed for.
We have a great plan. We have a strong leader. We have a magnificent team. With God's help, we'll have another term to really advance many of the initiatives that we have already started. Not only do we have a blueprint for progress, we are supportive of the National Development Plan that's actively underway. And whilst our plan may be a snapshot for the next term, the National Development Plan, for which we are putting in place legislation, and we have an active participation by a cross-section of stakeholders, that plan is designed for the long term. We're building a country to last so that our grandchildren will have an opportunity to have even a better life than we're having. Our present is certainly better than the past that I know growing up in Little Exuma, and we must ensure the future for our children is brighter than the present.
Now, all of this sounds amazing, but many investors, foreign and local, are often turned off by the lack of ease of doing business in the Bahamas. With all that you have said and all that's in the pipeline and all that you hope to do and do if you were to be successful at the polls, how do you plan to streamline investments and the process and everything you have to do to be able to open a tuck shop over there?
You would know I've been a businessman for most of my life before coming into politics, and one of the things that distresses me most is that we have not made enough gains in terms of ease of doing business. We are actively considering this issue along with matters like cost of living, and we are seeing what can be done, what policies we can implement, put in place to ensure that we're making significant inroads in this area. If we're able to create more efficiency, we'll be able to create more economic growth and more opportunities for our people. That's what we're seeking to do.
Absolutely. You don't want to turn people away and have them frustrated with trying to make an investment. Deputy Prime Minister, I could go on. Would love to discuss other issues and sort of ideas with you in the various ministries that you are responsible for. But I thank you for being here this evening.
I'll come back sometime.
Please do come back. I'll hold you to that. Please do come back so we can get more information. But thank you so much, Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, this evening talking about aviation, tourism, and also investments as well. And with you in mind, thank you once again for being here.
My pleasure.
Beyond the Headlines is back right after this. Stay close.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here at Superwash, Superwash's newest spokesmodel. And I'm here to tell you about Superwash's large capacity washers and dryers for all your big loads.
I know I see that Charlie Banana coming here just now.
Luckily, it's also big enough for me to hide it.
I thought he was right over here where these large capacity washer and dryers is. They're big enough now to handle your big loads, you know. Yeah, like your comfort on your blanket. But just look at us. Somebody forget to turn on the dryer. Oh, stop! Help! You hear something? Yeah, that's the sound of clean. Superwash washes your process you and entertains them 24/7.
I go into the shop and what I see, the things what they trying to sell for tea. I come to bring it back where I get it from. And then they tell me they don't give refund. I say, girl, who is you? I want my money back cause this thing ain't new. She tell me slide out, move off the line. I ain't gonna lie, nearly lose my mind. Time now, I just trying to get straight, you know. But they won't rob me, but I don't know. So I walk off, got out of sight. Cause that's enough robbery for me in one night. March off like a marching man. Call Consumer Protection Commission. When they pick up, I file a complaint, and quick as that, I get my money back, but don't mess with the CPC. Don't mess with the CPC. Hey, don't mess with the CPC. Cause why? They here to protect me. Follow the Consumer Protection Commission Bahamas Facebook page to stay up to date on tips that protect you as a consumer. It's your boy, the Evening Trick.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best-kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
103.5 is turning 8 years old. 103.5 The Beat and Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group presents The Beat Fest. It's a Bahamian musical experience on March 14th at The Pond. Doors open 7 p.m. sharp. Performing live, Shine, Stevie S, Mama D, Veronica Bishop, Funky D, all backed up by the Pond Band. Hosted by Joe Cools, 1K Gaza, and Jess Mo. Music by 103.5 The Beat DJ. Tickets available now at all Beauty Shack locations. General admission, 30. VIP, 75. Get your tickets early. Spots are limited. Sponsored by Mazzari International, The Plug, and The Beauty Shack. And of course, 103.5 The Beat.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's great to have you all tuned in. We are moving right along this evening. The Italian Bahamas Association is working alongside Cafe Matisse, Guanahani Art Collective, and a number of other agencies to give you 2 lucky Bahamians an all-expense-paid trip to Florence, Italy this summer. Right, you heard me. You absolutely heard me correctly. This is something amazing, and it's to study art. And so we're going to get right into it. Joining me this evening is Francesco Vancore, the owner of Cafe Matisse, Andrea Cecchi, the Italian Honorary Consul to the Bahamas. Gentlemen, good evening to both of you. Welcome to Be on the Headlines.
Thank you so much, Shanique. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Thank you, Shanique. I was honored to be guest to your fantastic show, and congratulations for your excellent work.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you both so much. Listen, this is amazing, though. Congratulations to you from the Italian Bahamas Association to, of course, you, the Honorary Consul of Italy to the Bahamas, to you, Francesco, the owner of Cafe Matisse, that you all sat and decided this, you're going to start this exchange program because this is something you've been doing really for years. But on this level, you have sort of taken it a notch, obviously higher. And this is going to happen this summer for 2 lucky Bahamians. Now let's get into it. Please, let's talk about what's happening and where. Go ahead, Francesco.
Okay, thank you so much, Shanique. Thank you, Andrea. Yes, I'm living here in the Bahamas since 8.5 years, almost 9 years. And I realized as a part of the Cafe Matisse project that there is a tremendous amount of very talented Bahamian artists that do operate here, do have some exhibitions eventually around the world. But I asked myself, how much do Italian people in Italy know about Bahamian art? And since I'm a very curious person, I started to deep dive. And as things go further, I realized that yes, people are very passionate. A lot of people study about art and they have exhibitions, but also some people may struggle in getting more exposure. And last year, Cafe Matisse, we had a very short exhibition just to feel, the context, to feel the experience. And after that, I had the great opportunity to meet Andrea. Now, Andrea is based in Eleuthera, and the most I like working with him is a passion for the project that he brings forward. And I started, to speak with him and understanding how can we allow Bahamian artists, citizens of the Bahamas, to experience what we have in Italy. Now, Andrea is, as I said, as passionate as me, and I started to explain our vision with him, and the brainstorming never stopped, and we moved on and moved on. Now, I know that Florence is his city. Florence is a fantastic city. I'm from a different part of Italy, but Florence is iconic when it comes to art and culture.
It's like an open air museum, really.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you know a little bit about Florence, you know that it's all about art and culture. And then the very, very fantastic aspect was that Andrea has not only passion but also experience and the right connections with the people in Florence. And then I think, Andrea, you want to speak a little bit about the foundation in Italy and the school in Italy in Florence that would welcome the Bahamian artists, because what we are trying to achieve is something not as a one-time action. We want to make it happen every year, because Bahamian people and the Bahamas, we are grateful for the opportunities that we have here, and so therefore, Andrea, up to you.
Thank you, Francesco. Perfect explanation, Shanique. This is a great opportunity that you're giving us to explain this project. For us, we're really excited. We love the Bahamas, Francesco and I. That's how we got together in this project. And since the Bahamas has given us so much, we think that is just the most natural thing to give back. Therefore, we discussed this project, and myself as a diplomat, I exposed the possibility, especially in these times of conflict and tension around the world, to rediscover a common ground to create peace, unity, and harmony. And what better universal language there is than art? Therefore, I contacted my fellow diplomats and honorary consul in Florence, and they all agreed that this is a good ground where to start. And luckily, I also have an artistic background, and I know a lot of people in the field. I am personally an amateur wood carver, but the thing that is very important is that my good friend in Italy is also an art teacher. And I spoke to him about this idea, and he said he actually offered the possibility to do it at his school. Mm-hmm. So the project is open internationally, but we are starting with the Bahamas because we love the Bahamas the most of every other nation, but the invitation is open, of course, together with the other honorary consul, to a more global scale, as I said, to rediscover a common ground, and this common ground will be art. Yes. And Florence, being from a time immemorial, a very relevant place in the world for art, is the best place where to start this project. So I'm very excited, and the Italia Bahamas Foundation and my work devolves a lot of money to fund this kind of projects. I've been doing these charitable activities towards the Bahamas since 2019, since Hurricane Dorian. This is the next and last and most exciting one of the project, because it's not anymore to help victims, but which of course was necessary and very important. But this time we are investing in the future of the relationship between our two nations, Italy and the Bahamas. Yes. We have a lot of things in common. We like nice things. We like art. We like to enjoy life, and there is so much that we can share. So thank you, Shanique, for letting us talk about it.
Do the lucky recipients will they have to have a sort of a foundation in art already, or they can be novices?
I can start, and then Andrea. This is a very important aspect what you mentioned. In fact, as a matter of courtesy, we have also a Bahamian friend that is part of this program. She's in charge of the Guanahani Art Collective. Her name is Miranda Adelaide. Eventually she will be here, or she could not make it. So back to your question. I think that very important is the passion for art. And the passion for art means that these are people that will be selected by a committee that is driven and managed by Miranda. They have to have a passion, because it's not something that you grant to a person and that's it. It has to be a journey. Yes, it is, I guess, important that people may have some experience or some link. At the same time, as you may know, we start by the age of 18. The program is open to Bahamian citizens with an age between 18 and 45. Oh, very nice. So therefore, whoever has an interest, and believe me, the people in the school in Italy, they are not only teachers, but they are experienced person in this field. And so you may discover that there are young people with a passion for art, but they never cultivated it so far. And so therefore, I think the most important task of the committee here in the Bahamas that will select the people is to understand the passion that people have. In fact, there are 3 elements that have to be considered. for the application, it's of course the curriculum, some works eventually that they did, and then also a description of their experience, of why eventually they should be considered as the right candidate. And so therefore I think that if the committee is able to identify the people with the right passion, why not?
Andrea, this is nothing, in fact, I imagine this is for you, see this as a dream come true. You've been doing cultural exchanges for a number of years between Italy and the Bahamas, and now you're offering, along with Francesco, along with the Miranda and the center that she runs, you're offering this wonderful 2-week unique opportunity, all expense paid.
Exactly.
Just talk about the work to get what you have been doing all these years to this point.
Shanique, you know, once you have a passion driving you, is not really work. It's pleasure. It's the pleasure of giving back and the pleasure to get things happen. I've been in strict contact with the Guadalupe Foundation. They have some incredibly good programs also to educate people. So this is a great thing, and that is part of my mandate. You know, I as an honorary consul, you know, between the list of things that I'm assigned to do, it is part of what the Bahamas Ministry of Foreign Affairs expects of me. So this is just making it happen. What I should do as the honorary consul. So it is a great opportunity that I actually able to deliver. And Francesco and I was talking about this, and then they took the occasion of this Italian celebration that is the 25th of April to set a deadline.
So that is when the winners will be announced, the 25th of April,
yes,
which is basically the Italian independence. Yes.
Yes.
So all Italians in Nassau, I guess Francesco, are invited, right, to participate, to rejoice of this opportunity by your beautiful restaurant.
Maybe you all should come back and announce the winner. But how do people apply? Let's quickly just jump into that right now. How do people apply?
So I may give some concrete feedback on this. So we have an email address which is called heartresidencyitaly@gmail.com.
Oh, no, that
So
Francesco, who in Jesus' name? Francesco, who does such a long? Say it again so I can tell the people.
Right. Art. Residency.
Italy.
@gmail.com.
@gmail.com. You all heard that?
Right.
Art Residency Italy @gmail.com. Slow it down again. Art, all one word. Art Residency Italy @gmail.com. You can apply there. You can perhaps send your resume, a little something. Just make your best pitch, because 2 of you will be very, very lucky to go to Florence this summer. Once again, Art Residency Italy @gmail.com. Francesco, you'll come back and tell me about the winners?
Thank you. And the information will be available on the Café Matisse homepage, so they can look.
So Café Matisse homepage
will have all the information.
What is it? CafeMatisse.com?
Right, yes.
So you all, that's Café Matisse, MATISSE.com. CafeMatisse.com for all of the information. And then, of course, you go and you apply at Art Residency Italy @gmail.com. Good?
Thank you so much.
Awesome. You're welcome. Andrea, great seeing you. Thank you very much as well. I look forward to hearing who the winners are come next month. And so, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you both. Have a great evening. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, these ladies are here. They say, Shanique, we have so much in store. You want the ladies out there to hear about this. All your questions, everything that you need to know about perimenopause and menopause. They have a seminar coming up for you on Saturday. That right after this.
The Fox Foundation proudly presents the keynote speaker for the 3rd Annual Women's Entrepreneurship Initiative, this March 19th at 7 p.m. at the beautiful Baha Mar Resort. Get ready to be inspired by Randy Zuckerberg tech innovator and the creator of Facebook Live. She revolutionized real-time digital engagement, empowering individuals and brands to broadcast instantly to global audiences. And now she brings that innovation and insight to the Fox Foundation's 3rd Annual Women's Entrepreneurship Initiative, March 19th at 7 p.m. at the Baha Mar Resort. Under this year's theme, Give to Gain, join us for a night designed to inspire growth, spark opportunity, and strengthen the future of women in business.
Play for fun, not for funds.
In the Bahamas, we play hard, but we live smart.
We love a little competition.
A little excitement, a little thrill.
And at Idle Luck, gaming is all about entertainment.
Shared moments, celebrating the wins, and enjoying the experience.
The key is simple. Play for fun, not for funds. When you set a budget before you start,
and know your limits, you stay in control.
And when you're in control, the game stays what it's meant to be.
Fun. So play for fun, not for funds.
Must be 18 and over. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so please game responsibly.
The race to 2026 is heating up, and the nation's voice is louder than ever. Here on Beyond the Headlines, we're checking the mood, the momentum, and the message of the people. I'm Shanique Miller. Each week, we're taking the temperature of the electorate to see what's really driving the nation. Who's connecting? Who's cooling off? What issues are heating up ahead of 2026? This is Temperature Check 2026, where journalism meets the nation's heartbeat.
Is turning 8 years old. 103.5 The Beat and Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group presents The Beat Fest. It's a Bahamian musical experience on March 14th at The Pond. Doors open 7 p.m. sharp. Performing live, Shine, Stevie S, Mama D, Veronica Bishop, Funky D, all backed up by The Pond Band. Hosted by Joe Cools, 1K Gaza, and Jess Mo. Music by 103.5 The Beat DJ. Tickets available now at all Beauty Shack locations. General admission, $30. VIP, $75. Get your tickets early. Spots are limited. Sponsored by Mazzari International, The Plug, and The Beauty Shack. And of course, 103.5 The Beat.
Segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you all tuned in. We're shifting gears. The Woman I Didn't See Coming. Listen, that sounds like either a movie or a Lifetime, an LMN movie, Lifetime Movie Network, but no, it's a book. It's a book written by Patricia Johnson, and this book was going to be part of an event this Saturday evening. In fact, a whole official launch at this seminar specifically for women who are perimenopausal, women who are even thinking about that, because it can really start as early as 35 or your early 30s for some women, and it just goes on. But this is happening at the Andre Rogers Complex Events Hall. It's going to be really, really super, a wonderful event, as you all know there, that that setting. And so Patricia is here. Diane Gibson, of course, joins her, and they both are the event coordinators for Saturday evening's event. And they're making it an evening affair to let you know just exactly how they are raising the level of it, where you can come, dress up, feel nice, have cocktails, and then talk about this, the women I didn't see coming. Ladies, good evening to both of you. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. It's great to have you both here.
Good evening, and thank you.
Great to be here.
Talk about, first of all, this book launch that's loaded. I was telling you all during the break that Patricia, you are on to something major, because everywhere you look online now, you see women talking about, and Halle Berry is leading her own charge, in fact. But it's not just her. Millions of women everywhere around the world have hit the internet to talk about the woman they didn't see coming.
Yes. I'd like to say that what got me to write this book, I was experiencing some things, and I know I was not a person in menopause. I know what menopause is. And I began having these symptoms similar to menopause. I went to the doctor, I did all these tests. I got the results. Nothing is wrong with you. Yes, you're experiencing XYZ, but there's nothing wrong with you. Your results came back fine. But I went home and I said, well, I know my body. Something has to be wrong. So I did some research over the course of several weeks. I did some research, and then I took a deeper dive. I said, wait a minute, I discovered something called perimenopause, and I said, hold on, wait a second. So there is a term, or there's a word for what I was experiencing in my life at that time. So I said, how many other women out here may be going through this same exact thing that I'm going through, who were not warned about it?
Well, who don't know, have no idea.
Who did not know, because I didn't know this word. And then so I began researching perimenopause. I began researching, and I found out some things, that these symptoms that I was going through, they mimic menopause. But I was not in menopause. So I said, something? I am not the person to say, I wanted to write a book. But I decided, I said, because there are so much women, and this affects women on a global scale, I should put something in writing. And that's why I began putting pen to paper, and I came up with the book and the title, The Woman I Didn't See Coming.
Okay, so now, first of all, hold that book up, because it's an important document. I tell you, I have seen, and I shared it with a number of people, because the more somebody comes and talks about it, or Diane and I talk about it online or something, you discuss it more. And then, of course, like I said, I've seen so many people, from media personalities to Hollywood celebrities, all discussing it at different times. Yes. Oprah, everyone, just having major seminars even, and gathering of women to discuss this very thing. Yes. Diane, how important is it for women to know and not be in the dark? Patricia went and she did a deep dive. Then she decided this deep dive will even lead into a book. But how is important it for women to be just knowledgeable, informed about perimenopause, about menopause?
Well, I think that's the biggest thing. Women are taken by surprise, and it surprises me how surprised women are that we're not getting the information ahead of time, the knowledge of what menopause really is and what perimenopause really is. So the definition of menopause is simply if a woman goes 12 months or more, whether it's natural or surgical, without seeing her period, she is in menopause. But if you start seeing symptoms of menopause and you go 11 months without a period and then you see your period, you're not in menopause, you're in perimenopause. If you're still seeing your period but it's starting to become irregular, or for a lot of women it starts to become really heavy and uncomfortable, that's perimenopause. And women start to feel all types of symptoms that they're not associating with menopause. Sometimes irritability. If you're working with an office full of women in their 40s and 50s and you wonder why it gets a little crazy in there.
In their 30s.
Even in the 30s it starts. The hormones are changing, and literally menopause is part of how we react, how much patience we have, the moodiness, lack of sleep.
So that's perimenopause.
Perimenopause and menopause. And menopause, you'll see both. But as young as 35, you can start to see some of these symptoms. You start to sometimes have night sweats or sleepless nights.
Your libido can change at times. All of these different things are happening, and no one has explained to us that this is a natural part of life and that you're not going crazy. And so women tend to internalize it. They try to be the superhero, doing everything at home, everything at work, and not really having anyone to communicate with. And so when I met Patricia, it was like an immediate sisterhood. We always talk about menopause, even you and I, Shanique. It's just something that women in the Bahamas, powerful women in the Bahamas, it just happens to be the age when you're getting into perimenopause and menopause, when you're finally getting your life together as far as your career and your family, and you're feeling good about your life, and then out of nowhere it's like a big truck hits you. It's just this big surprise. And I think just as though we prepare young women for seeing their periods, it's important to realize this is another natural phase of life. Yes. And it's important to start the conversations and create safe spaces where women can come and share and ask questions and be part of each other's journeys.
Patricia, I've been trying to talk about this, but not trying. I have been
we
talking
have
about
been.
this for years.
Yes.
I mean, people like Diane and so many others have come to whichever show it is that I'm hosting, and that I've hosted, and we just talk about it. I mean, someone may say not nearly enough, but I certainly have tried to do my part, right?
Yes.
But what are some things that surprised you that say, wait a minute, whoa, this is perimenopause? What are some of the things that you can think of?
Well, I wouldn't get into too much, but the biggest one for me was hair loss. I used to have lush, thick hair. Now my hair is thinning, and that can be an embarrassment for a lot of persons. Whereas I didn't.
Imagine the mental and emotional strain of it all.
Yes. So that was a big one for me. And then pain throughout the body. Things change, hormones shift. So some things like that, and then some other things that I wouldn't go into. But
no, that's for Saturday evening.
Well,
that's
right.
for Saturday.
That's the teaser.
Yeah.
I think what's important too is to understand that yes, there are symptoms, but there are things we can do about it.
And that's another
thing. We don't have to just take the symptoms.
Exactly.
There are things we can do about it.
I imagine that's something that's going to be shared on Saturday evening about what can be done about it. For example, just changing your diet. That's important. And taking time for really, we've been tossing this word about for quite enough, like self-care.
Yeah.
Intentional. Well, now is when the time you really have to do that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So let's talk about Saturday evening, ladies. First of all, who are the speakers, the presenters, and give us some of the topics that'll be addressed.
Okay, we have Dr. Inga Pratt. Well, we have a Diane Gibson, of course. Diane can share a little bit more about what she will be speaking about. So we have Dr. Inga Pratt. She's the OBGYN. We have Harrison Thompson. He's our relationship specialist. We have, that's our panel discussion. Dr. Inga Pratt, she'll be talking about understanding the body changes of perimenopause, what is normal, what is not, and how women and their families can confidently engage with healthcare providers. Harrison Thompson, I know he's popular with Bahamians. So he's talking about how hormonal changes during midlife can influence emotions, stress levels, reasoning, and everyday relationships. And he will also be giving practical guidance for women and their partners and their children to better understand and navigate this season.
Yes. Now, Diane, what are you going to be focusing in on?
Well, for me, I'm really talking about how we can take care of ourselves and prep our bodies prior to menopause. You mentioned already the healthy eating and the exercise. We know out there that our foods are pumped up with hormones and additives and preservatives. And it's no secret why we have high rates of PCOS, menopause symptoms that are very, very discomforting for women. And so cleaning out the diet, learning how to eat a little bit different, but other types of things. Saunas, infrared sauna is great for menopause symptoms, yoga, Pilates, things that work the pelvic floor. We'll be talking about pelvic floor workshops. And of course, the big buzz on the streets now is using GLP-1 medications for menopause symptoms.
Well, I saw Oprah do huge, well, she was interviewed initially and then she gathered hundreds of women to talk about it. So what has been the link between GLP-1 and menopause?
There are a lot of symptoms that seem to be subdued, particularly with tirzepatide and the new one coming, retatrutide. In particular, inflammation, bringing down inflammation, helping balance hormones, and even just helping getting the body in balance as a whole. Symptoms tend to be worse when we're higher on the obesity spectrum. And when we're eating cleaner foods and we have more control over our diet and exercise, we still experience symptoms, but they tend to be more controlled and more manageable.
Yes, now ladies, come on, let's get exactly where, because I call that name the Andre Rogers Event Center. Tell us exactly where that is. Is that where the new baseball stadium is, and that wonderful center that everybody goes to? Yes, quite nice. Yeah. Also, of course, the time of this event, I know it's a cocktails sort of before, and then you go and you sit, very nice, comfortable, very sort of an elevated experience. But definitely. Go right ahead, Patricia, pick it up.
This is happening this coming Saturday, the 14th of March at 6:30 p.m. at the Andre Rogers Events Hall. The hall is opposite the Government High School. It's opposite Government High School on Bahama Games Boulevard. Now, when you come to the event, expect to be welcomed with a cocktail reception. We're going to have hors d'oeuvres. You're eating at this cocktail reception. You're going to have hors d'oeuvres. You're going to have a panel.
Hold on, and there's a whole meal while the panel discusses. And
yes, you have a buffet meal actually during the panel discussion, and then you'll be able to ask questions during that time to any of the panelists. And then, I mean, it's a fun night. We're telling you to dress up in your fineries. It's cocktail elegance. We're asking persons to come, bring your partners, bring your adult children. Because some things are going to be discussed in the room that we may not want to share with the little ones, but bring your adult children, bring your partners, bring your husbands, so that they can be sensitized to what it is that you're going through. This isn't just for women. Mm-hmm. It's also for men, and men who care about any woman in their life, they should be able to attend this. Should be interested in attending this event.
The men should want to tag along as well.
And I think it's important for people to understand. You'll understand as soon as you open the book. The tone is very lighthearted and funny.
Yes.
It is not a serious evening full of doctors talking. It's a lot of fun. It's more like
an exchange of information and let you know that listen, you are not alone.
Yes. You are not alone, girlfriend.
And then you know what I like to say about anything like this. What is it called again? Whether it's, I don't care what it is, anything to do with a woman moving on in life, like you are blessed to experience it. Truly you are. And who knows where a sisterhood can be formed, Patricia, in terms of this, because people, I imagine, so many women, come on, we have more women than men anyways, and they need somewhere to turn to get this information. Hold that book up again, because this book will also be launched. Hold it up. Yes, that will be launched. That is The Woman I Didn't See Coming. It looks very mainstream, very polished, well done.
Yes.
And of course, she said it's lighthearted, it's information you can use, relate to, or something that you could be informed about.
Yes,
and know exactly what's happening. Is there a ticket for this event?
Yes, the tickets they can be purchased at anorglobal.com, or you can follow us on our Facebook page at Anor Global, or Instagram page at anor.global.
You've got to spell that. Yes. That's not a regular name.
anorglobal.com.
anorglobal.com. Is there a phone number?
552-5276 for group tickets.
Say that again, please.
552-5276 for group tickets.
Call, WhatsApp, get the information that you need, reserve your spot. Once again, the phone number.
And the book is free for anyone who attends the event.
Oh, so just purchase it first. Get your ticket, and the book is free.
We have a lot of free tickets coming.
So here's the book, you all. Please call the number again.
552-5276.
Ladies, I thank you so much. Good luck with this. This is fantastic, you all. It's good when women can be informed. And the reason I am pushing it like this, no connection to these ladies, first time meeting her, but because I've seen so much of this being driven online by people in my industry, by Oprah, by Hollywood celebrities, because women need to know this and understand that you are not perhaps losing it or something is going on with you, you need to be informed. So thanks again, Patricia, for writing this book, for holding this event. Diane, of course, you've always been at the forefront of issues like this, and so continue to do so. Ladies, thank you so much. A huge thank you to all of you as well. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. I certainly enjoyed having you here. Of course, for the Deputy Prime Minister stopping by, and then in the middle, by the way, you will enter that competition. You could be on your way to Italy this summer. That's right. That's what we do here on Beyond the Headlines. For my entire team, I'm Shanique Miller. Thanks once again, ladies. Good to see you all. Look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, have a wonderful evening.